Nation Sunday night Knicks Summer League edition. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Another edition of Knicks Fan TV Live presented by Manscaped. Knicks go down in this Summer League opener 79-89 to the Raptors. But let's let the overreactions begin. Tonight's panel, my guys JD, David, Zenon. Fellas, how are we feeling today, man?
Good, brother. Everything feeling good, man. I'm actually optimistic of what I saw.
Yeah. Let's overreact to it, man. First and foremost, before we get to Jericho, we got to start with Obi because I think second year Obi is going to be key, I think, for this squad as well as himself. Obviously, we know that he's going to be playing behind Julius, but after he struggled a little bit last year, set back by the injury, no summer league and things of that nature, man. David, bro, I love the way Obi came out and attacked. He was very aggressive, mixed it up. 24 points on 10 of 21 shooting. What you think about Obi's game tonight?
I liked it. I like the fact that he was aggressive, as you mentioned, and the fact of the matter is he needed to be so. I mean, this is the guy that he's coming into a second year, a very big year for him to, let's be honest, he was amidst trade speculations and whatnot, and he needed to showcase the fact that he needs to be part of this roster going forward. The dribble handoff actions that they ran for him and IQ and a few of the other guards, I liked it a lot. I also like the fact that he was aggressive in showing that shot. I know that he wasn't, a world beater with three-point shot tonight, but at least he was showing it and he was aggressive. He wasn't hesitant at all. The mid-range jump shot was actually looking pretty good, mid-range touch and finishing at the basket. That's what we were asking for him to do last year, and he did it now.
Man, I was pleading for the kid to drive it to the basket, especially last year. And he started coming on. He started doing it a lot late in the season and into the playoffs. But today, man, he was very aggressive, JD. Very aggressive, attacking the paint. I loved my play of the game for Obi was when he went up against Morgan on the Raptors, the guard out of Cornell. Morgan splashes a three in Obi's eye late in the fourth quarter, or I think late in the third. And then Obi comes back, gets the mismatch on the other way, quickly finds him, and Obi turns around and turns him into barbecue chicken in the post. So I like that aggression, that attitude by Obi. I just like the way he approached today's game.
Yeah, very, very positive signs from Obi. One of the things that I was looking to, because in summer league, I'm looking for things. I just have a disciplined eye, and I'm just looking at the games. I'm not really too worried about
number
numbers.
One rule of summer league is it's only summer league. But go ahead, let's overreact. Let's overreact.
And we'll definitely hear more as we get to other players
for sure
for the Knicks. But in terms of Obi, being that he already has a year under his belt in the NBA, I was looking specifically for improved awareness on the court. So one of the things that he didn't display effectively last year was offensive awareness in terms of, setting the right screens, being in the proper position, improved footwork. And those are some of the things that I was looking for. And he looked like he belonged out there. He looked like his awareness was peaked up a little higher. His IQ looked a little bit better. And he executed. I loved his aggressiveness. I like the way he finished the game because he finished the game actually the way that I hope the Knicks use him. There was a sequence in the fourth quarter where 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go where he had a post move on a smaller player. The move itself, forget about who was defending him, but the move itself looked crisp. It looked, aggressive. And that's what I want to see. He asked for the ball. So his mindset was aggressive. And, going into this NBA season, I would like for him to transfer that in the game. If he sees a mismatch, get aggressive, forget what the play is called. If Thibodeau calls a certain play, ask for the ball and take advantage of those mismatches. So I like the way he ended in the fourth quarter. He had a sequence with 3 straight possessions where he attacked the basket. And that's, I think, his best segment of the game was that fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. That was a play I was talking about on Morgan, where you got him in the post and bodied him. And yeah, man, that's just the aggression that you want to see out of Obi. So I definitely liked his intentions out there in the game, and he was very aggressive. Again, 24 points for Obi on the campaign, 10 of 21 shooting, 2 of 10 from downtown. David, as you said, he was letting it fly from three-point land. That's all good, and 8 boards to go along with it. So nice campaign there. Nice night for Obi in the Summer League opener. Now let's talk about the other big man, because this kid, Jericho Sims, was acting a fool out there, bro. I mean, He's another guy, aggressive defensively. I thought he was very disciplined out there, forcing some turnovers. He got active on the glass. Footwork, I liked his footwork offensively, man. Had some nice moves in the post and some nice finishes. A nice little turnaround one-handers that fell down. The two-man game with him and Quickly was on point. And just in the fourth quarter, bro, the alley-oop from Quickly to Sims, bro, his head went over the rim.
For the body.
Completely over the rim, bro. Dave, what'd you think about Jericho Sims out there today?
I loved his feet.
Yeah.
He has tremendous footwork. Yeah. He was a great rim runner, too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him. I thought he was strictly one of those, pick and roll, just throw it up there. He's going to jump and get it kind of guys. I got to admit, I should have done a little bit more work on scouting him with that. But to be honest with you, the other thing that impressed me was his physical play. I mean, the dunk, the alley-oop was incredible. The dunk that caught my eye, though, was when he caught it in traffic and then, stepped through about 2-3 defenders and just went straight up. Yeah, just straight vertical, right off the vert. Was able to finish in traffic. And then his awareness, more so not even just – he didn't really do a great job in rebounding, but he did a really good job in altering those shots and not getting stupid fouls, which I was really, really impressed with. So – yeah, he's a beast, and he's a whole lot thicker than I thought he would be. His legs are really, really strong. He has a good body already. So
he's got a good frame, man. At least from what I see. No, obviously I didn't see much of him in college, but he looks pretty built right there.
Yeah, I think everybody was focused on Greg and Kai, which is crazy. They had those three on the front line. that they had them on that team. But yeah, this kid could be special. I mean, if he's able to really put together some sort of offensive, just a go-to move on the block, and just be a simple, effective player, he could be really, really good.
Yeah, JD, man, the turnaround jump hook by him was nice. Like David said, I thought his footwork was very impressive, and again, the springs, the springs was on point, and altering the shots. I thought defensively he played a disciplined game. 6 of 6 on the campaign for Jericho Sims, 12 points and 8 boards. What you think about Jericho, bro?
Well, I'm gonna lead the overreaction charge.
We got him. Bro. Let's go.
We got one. We got the next Dwight. We got the next Dwight, baby. Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard. Listen, I mean, again, I was looking for certain things that could translate versus NBA competition, and that post move that looks similar to Obi's, that footwork turnaround against a smaller guy. Those are things that you can translate against NBA skilled players. So that was a positive. And, one of the things, the only thing I could think of is, man, what can some of these, what could he do against a good point guard? Like a Kemba? I can't wait to see that. That's some of the thoughts that peeped into my mind. He's not expected to get that type of minutes. But when you see some of these dunks, when you see some of these easy opportunities, you can only think of, him playing with a Derrick Rose or him playing with a Kemba off a pick and roll, what type of, play that would garner. And listen, who would have thought at 58, when you had 3 first-round picks with Obi and Quickly and Grimes, that Jericho Sims would take all the shine in game 1 of the Summer League. It was very impressive, and I can't wait to see him in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was a good find by them, and we'll see what happens as these games keep going. The next game is August 11th against the Lakers, so we'll see if he can carry that energy forward. But great start by Jericho Sims, very impressive. Third on my list of impressive was McBride, man. I liked McBride, man. He carried everything over from West Virginia, an absolute ball hawk, just intense. Really, really running the break well. I definitely like what McBride gave us. He finished with 9 points, 1 steal, 2 dimes, 5 boards. McBride he's gonna be a Tibbs favorite sooner or later, man. And I just think the way that they're gonna manage the minutes with Kemba and D Rose, I think McBride will find his opportunities throughout the season, no doubt about it. Dave, what you think about McBride tonight?
I love the energy. That was one of the things that I continued to talk about on the timeline is great energy so far. That pull-up mid-range is really, really, really polished. He has a really good mid-range jump shot. The thing that stuck out was, as I said earlier, the energy, but then the defensive awareness. He had 1 steal. He should have had 3. There was one where he actually, went out of bounds. And, we're talking about a kid who doesn't give up on the play, whether the fact that, there were two instances in which he was close to hitting the floor and this guy wasn't giving up on the play, did a great job going through screens, and was vocal. That's one of those things where you don't want to see a guard or any player that's coming into the league being timid. So he was vocal on defense, was able to talk, was able to go through screens, and he's one of those guards that you could see down the road being really good in some sort of situations where they need to ice players, which is a Tibbs fave. Yep. So I think that's something that's going to be pretty good for them down the road with him.
Yeah, I like this kid's energy a lot, man. Played football in high school, man, and you can kind of shows, the way that he gets very low on defense. He kind of has those instincts, and as a guard, his head is always up. He's always looking to push the pace and find somebody out in front. So I like McBride's activity today. JD, what'd you think about him?
I get a lot of Marcus Smart vibes when I watched him today.
Yeah,
in
100%.
I got like even his build, just the way he looks on the TV, the way he moves, the toughness, the confidence. I think exactly. He had a lot of deflections. Can get you some rebounds, a couple assists, steal, had only one turnover in 26 minutes. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of Marcus vibes. Marcus Smart vibes in McBride, and I think that's very positive for the Knicks. I can't wait to see him. I think he's going to get some burn, and let's see how he even the play against Malachi Flynn, where Malachi Flynn made the basket. That was still great defense, man. For a guy that changed direction on him, he was still able to stay with him, had a hand up, contested the shot. The shot was made. You tip your cap, but sometimes even when plays are made against you, you still learn and you still get better. And I think that showed a lot there. Even as the basket was made, he had great defense. And I'm excited because, when you're able to play defense at the NBA level, that's going to get you on the court. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to be a good college defender, but now when you're facing Chris Pauls and you're facing Trae Youngs and you're facing real, elite ball handlers, you having the ability to show that you can stay in front of these guys. Tibbs will see that in training camp. He'll see that in preseason. And as soon as one of these guys ahead of him either gets hurt or doesn't perform, he's going to come in for spot minutes and he's going to be impressive. So can't wait to see his development.
Absolutely. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. This is the first edition of Post Game Live, kicking off the new season, the preseason, I guess you could call it. Knicks go down in Vegas Summer League, 89-79 to the Raptors. I want to shout out some super chats that have come in. Stanley Carinard sends one. He says, I love what I saw from Obi and Sims. Grimes will come along. McBride energy is infectious, quickly out of position at point guard. He needs to play off the ball. We're going to talk on that in a minute. Al Diddy, shout out my guy Al Diddy down in Orlando. He says, not hating on IQ, but Kemba signing looking better and better. I don't like how he looked Grimes off a few times. All right, so let's go to Grimes. I mean, Grimes, he started the game off well. Started the game off with a nice dribble handoff for a three-point shot. I think that's something that you'll love to see with Grimes and the Knicks as he continues to grow and develop. Shot struggled a little bit. Went 3 of 11 from the field today. Did knock down a corner three late in the game as the Knicks were trying to cut the lead and get back into it. But overall, didn't really shoot the ball too well. I know, David, what you think about Grimes out there?
Yeah, I mean, he started off great. I mean, that three coming up from the corner and then shooting from the wing, that was cash. So I was thinking, okay, we're going to just continue that trend. But his feet were always set. He did a great job with having his hands ready to shoot. He reminded me a lot of like the same way that Devin Bain was able to move without the ball last summer, coming into the Grizzlies, like that type of, big stocky guard who's able to shoot really well. That's Grimes. He's going to grow into more of an offensive threat of putting the ball on the floor the more his career goes on. I just saw a few things that he was able to do, and he kind of, I wouldn't use the word experimented, but he wanted to showcase that ability of being a little bit crafty and getting that shot off. The next three he attempted, he got off of a handoff and did kind of like a fake, fake into his pull-up, and then he just pulled it from three, which caught me off guard. But I was very impressed at the fact that he would even do that, and just to see, how the shot is feeling. And then in the second half, he was able to kind of, he hit the other two threes, or the other two shots, I should say. But the bottom line is you want to see that aggression. I mean, this is a rookie, and he's able to feel comfortable enough to have his feet set, have his hands ready, he did everything mechanically right. The shots just didn't fall in.
Yeah.
And listen, it could have been first game jitters. It could have just been, hey, it's just one of those days. But I'd rather see that than some really bad misses and being timid where you miss 3 shots in a row. Oh, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah,
We didn't
confidence
see
was
that
there.
from him.
Confidence was definitely still there, and as you said, the shots just didn't fall. So I definitely did like the fact that he stayed aggressive, despite the fact that it didn't drop. I mean, Knicks as a team shot 7 of 40 from downtown, so definitely New York bricks in their first summer league campaign. But it's summer league, man. It is what it is. JD, what your thoughts on Grimes today?
I think David made some excellent points in terms of just evaluating his footwork, his awareness, his spots on the floor, because you just want to see if if you had just a difficult shooting game. Sometimes you do everything right on the floor, and the shots just simply don't go in. And that's not necessarily a red flag, especially if you're a good shooter. The confidence is that next game you'll be able to make those shots. So I saw, solid footwork. He, was shooting the basketball when he was open. He played within the team game. He didn't look like he was forcing shots. There was actually a spot he had a little baby jumper in the paint that he passed off. I wish he would have shot that, shot there. So those are little things, but it's just one of those things where, he's 3 of 8.
Yeah.
He makes 1 or 2 more, the percentages, flip, and now we're having a different conversation. So it's just one of those first game things. And, it's summer league. A lot of these guys, especially, him and McBride as rookies with media and a lot of hype coming into this game. Their New York Knicks is different than being in another team. It's just one of those things, you come on next game and try to get better.
Plus, the Raptors were also coached by Patrick Mutombo, who's been part of the Raptors organization for quite some time now. The development aspect of their team is not just on the offensive end. They have an identity on defense in the way that they're able to, you're dealing with guards that were physical, but then they're also crafty, not just offensively, but defensively. And they have length. I mean, you're talking about the fact that between Scotty Barnes and Gillespie and their ability to rotate and switch, it's difficult.
Yeah,
That's just the way it is. And, of course, they also have a bunch of other dogs that are coming out there that have learned under what the philosophy is defensively that the Raptors run. So, you might have an instance where they do a great job at their perimeter defense, just a bad shooting night. It is what it is. But I like what I saw mechanically and physically from Grimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't inconsistent, and it wasn't 2 different shots. It was the same thing every time, It just didn't happen to fall.
With Quickly, look, I see a lot of comments and a lot of fans saying that he struggled, they didn't like that, and would rather have him play off ball. For me, though, I think now is the time for him to get those reps in, get that experimentation, and see what he could do on the ball as he prepares for his second season. He didn't have a summer league just like Obi. So I think now is the time for him to get out there and get that experience. And then we could see what he can do. I mean, in this game, the decision-making wasn't really there. Didn't really facilitate as well offensively. Didn't shoot the ball too well, on the offensive end, obviously. But shot selection was a little iffy. But, again, his first summer league game, get the jitters out, and hopefully he continues to get better and learns from experiences like this.
Yeah, for sure.
He still had, on the positive end, still gave he gave you 2 steals, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, for a 6'2" guard. You definitely like to see the 6 rebounds. So that's a positive. You definitely like to see the 8 assists there. As you mentioned, I think, he played 37 minutes. So it's obvious the Knicks are experimenting here. He started at point guard. He was the main ball handler throughout his minutes. So this is the time, whether it becomes positive or negative, this is the time to use to see what you have for him as a ball handler, as a playmaker, and let him make the mistakes now. We know, during the season, Tibbs doesn't have that long a leash to make those mistakes. So let's do it now in Summer League. Let's experiment. Let's see what you have there. And so, listen, nobody said that he was going to be our starting point guard,
right,
and an elite point guard, but now is the time to see what he has at that position.
It's the best time to practice this. I'd rather have a bunch of turnovers and look at how he had those turnovers so you can learn from it. The fact of the matter is, Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker are the two primary point guards for the New York Knicks. That's just the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be, barring any injury, and Lord willing that doesn't occur. The thing that I wanted to see less of was actually the shooting part. I don't, we know you could score. We've seen you score. Fans have seen you score. I want to see more of the playmaking ability from, you being able to feed pinch posts, or you utilizing screens from pinch posts, or anything in which we have the opportunity to see the Knicks run real pick and roll action, high pick and roll action with two primary bigs in Obi Toppin and Sims tonight, and we didn't see too much of that. And more so, just to follow up with what JD said, is the rebounding part is great. Rebounding and pushing, I liked it even more. So I could see where he needs to work on some things and the decision making with the ball in his hands. But when the ball is out of his hands and getting to his spots and then getting some shots up, I have no issue with it. I just want to see a little bit more playmaking from him.
Yeah, and like we said, now's the time to get that out there and try to get that experience. He had that the connections to Sims were on point. Had about 3 of them. When Sims slipped the pick and roll, and then I think 2 lobs he had to Sims. So him and Sims had some chemistry there, and so had some moments, and definitely tried to get the Knicks back into the game. I think Knicks were able to cut it to about 9 in that fourth quarter, and then the Raptors had clapped back with back-to-back threes, pushing the lead to about 15, and that was pretty much it. But that was Quickly's night. Vildoza had just come in from Japan 2 days ago. I was sat in on the press conference that he had yesterday, and I think he was still on an Olympics malaise. He was still jet lagged, kind of tired, and still trying to figure it out. He came in, they gave him a couple of minutes. Looked a little overwhelmed. It is what it is. Played 8 minutes and didn't really do too much. Finished with 3 dimes on the night. Had 1 turnover when Barnes, who I'll get to in a second, but Barnes ripped him and dunked it in. So, not much from Vildoza. They only played him 8 minutes. He got his feet wet a little bit and came out. But JD, I mean, did you notice anything from Vildoza's minutes?
I saw the interview, and so he, I don't know if it was a little bit of fatigue. He did say that he didn't sleep well as well because of the jet lag. He just played in Tokyo, whole different time period, coming now to the U.S. And now dealing with, trying to impress your new team. I know there's a lot going in his mind. The one thing that I will say, positive 3 assists in 8 minutes. That's a positive. I will say I want to see the next game how he handles the NBA athleticism. There was a few possessions where he looked like he tried to drive and he couldn't just explode. He couldn't, get by the defender. And this is something different now. You're facing, athletes. And so, he needs that experience. I thought it was a good experience for him. He may have looked a little shell-shocked. This is now you're in the NBA. And so let's see, he gets a day's rest. Let's see how he comes up, the next game.
David, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely think fatigue was a factor. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Being the president of the Vildoza fan
the
club.
Vildoza Hive.
The fact of the matter is he did a lot of east-west with the rock in his hands, not just north-south. Coming off the screens, some quick passes, things like that. I think he was trying to feel things out, but unfortunately, you feel it out too much, then you fall behind. You really don't have time to do so. Scotty Barnes was just Scotty Barnes play was just a primary example of the fact that you can't go east-west anymore in this league unless you're able to create that shot from that far out, which very few people can do. He needs to utilize more screens. That's just the nature of the beast. I don't think he's going to be able to blow by anybody immediately yet until he learns how to, the little ins and outs of the league and the angles and things like that. But I'm not worried about him. I'm just a little bit interested to see how he's going to fare, as JD just mentioned, with the athletes, more so on the defensive end, just kind of reading those guys. And then once we get on the offensive end, now that teams are going to know that Sims is the type of player that he is around the basket, can the Knicks take advantage of penetrating kick opportunities? And that might be more of the strong suit in Vildoz's game than anything else. So, next game will be a telltale sign. I think by the third game, that's going to be like the test, the litmus test for him. So
Yeah.
you got to see what it is.
Well, he admitted to me in my press conference question about his strengths. He said it damn sure wasn't defense. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how they work with him on that going forward. But like you said, it definitely looked like he was trying to get a feel for things out there and get adjusted. But maybe a little bit overthinking a little bit too much and just didn't really have it going. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're going to take some phone calls now. Hit us up 657-383-1509 or call us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. What did you guys think of the game, man? What did you guys think of the performances? I know everybody was loving Obi and Sims. I have the Obi and Sims press conference reactions. I'll post that up after tonight's show. We'll post that on the channel so you guys can hear what they have to say about their performances. Also had Knicks Summer League coach Dice Yashimoto. I think that's his last name, right?
Yashimoto?
Yeah. So we got his reactions as well. And so stay tuned for that. We'll clip those up and put those up on the channel. Scotty Barnes is pretty damn impressive, bro. I'm saying, that kid is a beast. An absolute beast. I mean, his wingspan is incredible. This kid's gonna be a problem, man. I know it's only summer league, but this kid looked pretty damn impressive out there, man. Scotty Barnes was doing things out there.
Yeah. Sometimes you see some of the just gifted natural talent, just like Kuminga's first game with the Warriors. Like sometimes you just see it. And after the game, I'm thinking, okay, I see why they passed up on Suggs. That will always still be a debate, but I can see why. Especially Ujiri. Ujiri's a guy that loves just those wings. He loves those wings that have those measurables, 6'9", with a wingspan, can defend, are athletic. So very impressive. He had a double-double with 5 assists. Man, and he just needs to improve the shot and get his ball handling a little bit better. And he can, who knows what his ceiling is.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. I coached against him in high school. We prepped for him for a whole week, and it didn't matter. we said, hey, don't give up anything by the elbow. And guess where he went? To the elbow. He couldn't do anything about it. He's a beast, man.
This kid looks like he's going to be a 5-tool player, man. Just alpha early look. He just looks like he's going to be a guy that can fill up the stat sheet, man, on both ends of the court. So we'll see what happens there.
They do a great job.
Yeah. Shout out Daniel Balsajor sends a super chat. He says, Dan from ATL here. Looks like Knicks brass really want IQ to get comfortable at the lead guard. Handle still a little loose, but this is what Summer League is for. All right, salute to Daniel. We got 1,600 people in here. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. And also want to tip my cap to everybody watching and supporting because over the past couple of days, KnicksFanTV has crossed the 40,000 subscriber threshold. So I definitely want to thank the fans. Thank you to everybody who's supporting. Everybody hitting that like button, everybody subscribing, sharing these videos. I want to thank my panelists like JD, like David Zenon for their contributions to the show. Everybody that has come on the show and contributed to the show, man, definitely appreciate it. And on the way to 50K, man. So it's an accomplishment for everybody involved, no doubt about it. All right, let's get to the phone, see what the people have to say. Let's go to Arkansas, my guy, Truth. Truth, what it do, bro? How you feeling?
What's up, fellas, man? Hey, I'm going to make it real short and quick for y'all boys. I like the way Quickly was shooting. He wasn't really looking down off some screens a lot. He could have had more assists, but it was first game of Summer League. Obi smashed out, had a real big game. I like the way he threw the little one-man fast break. Patty with the tip in was pretty fine.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes was a dog. Champagne, them boys was getting it in. And Sims, you can't forget about him. And McBride played defense on bigger guys. That was surprising. And then, Vildoza, he going to come around too. So I appreciate the call, though.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend, Truth. Yeah, Obi getting that steal and getting out in a one-man transition, man. Knicks have guys that can get out and run now. We got Obi, you got RJ, you have Grimes was in the 92nd percentile in transition now out at University of Houston. McBride likes to push it, so definitely want to see them be opportunistic on the defensive end and get out and run because they got the guys now that can finish in this young core. So definitely a good sign. Certainly a good sign. I was very encouraged by Obi's play.
He almost
today.
had 2 steals the same way.
Yeah.
Just he looked great moving around on the perimeter. One of the knocks that he had coming into the draft. Sure. He doesn't look so robotic anymore. So he looks pretty good.
Definitely looked fluid out there. Obi looked good. Let's go to Poppa Left. Poppa Left was at the game, checking in from Las Vegas. Poppa Left, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on, CP? What's going on, Dave? What's going on, JD?
Hey, how you feeling, bro?
It is.
How's the atmosphere out there, Poppa Left?
Contrary to popular belief, committing 10 hours to Summer League basketball isn't as awesome as it seems on paper. I lucked out. It's hot, man. It's hot. I enjoyed the Jericho Sims dunk. It softened the blow of the loss, but it was still a loss, and I couldn't handle the Cavs and the Rockets as an organization
so
for
got
2 hours. So there's not Green and Mobley. Much success to them, and I'm sure I'll see them at some point. But I went back to my room, going back for Cade at 6 o'clock.
That's a good point.
But that's just got to be there for that moment. But I want to start just one by one. I think Grimes showed me enough to say that this guy is going to be a legit NBA player. I mean, he wasn't anything special offensively, but defensively he was special. You could see his length, his ability to make up for the space caught up by like that first dribble drive. He was keeping up with Barnes. Even McBride as well was keeping up with Barnes when he got switched on him. I think Quickly just came out like rust. I think the whole team came out rusty. Quickly has just one adjustment in his game I think he's missing from it, and it's just trusting that in uncomfortable space where he starts dancing around to do the step back. But sometimes guys kind of catch on to that, so he needs to dip his shoulder and kind of like trust it. Him and Malachi Flynn kind of have similar kind of outlooks on the game. They're such good shooters, and they want to tantalize you on the perimeter, but teams are just forcing them into the dirty part of the court, and they kind of just fizzle out once they get there. I was really impressed with Obi. I think Obi looked like the part of like the best player on the floor, which is very encouraging. It's a lot of young players. I thought Jericho Sims also. I think it was JD who said this. His ability to be patient with the ball underneath the hoop and step up, and I think it was a layup or a dunk, but Jericho Sims was like serviceable. Like he was more than serviceable. He was really good.
I thought he was solid.
So yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what to care about like the end result. It definitely felt like a scrimmage watching it live. It had moments of back and forth. There's so many stoppages, so much kind of like working it out with the referees. It was just very So, but with that said, I do think that I think Sims is a big takeaway, and getting Obi some more. Maybe get some of your thoughts about getting Obi some more isolation looks. We saw that in the beginning of preseason last year, where he was sold to us as a on the block kind of get to your spot and move player, and then he devolved into stand in the corner, and then he evolved into kind of like dribble handoffs, and you kind of saw that today. So maybe if you guys could talk about Obi Toppin's development, if there would be any commitment to him being an isolation player at some point this year.
Okay, how was the atmosphere, man? Were a lot of Knicks fans in there? Were we deep?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like fans that they have this thing where they're like before the game, are there any Raptors fans here? And then there are any Knicks fans. You could like hear New York in Las Vegas. You know, it was a nice atmosphere. I would say that, you know, people are just excited to, I would say this, that they do a great job there at the arena of giving fans the opportunity to see players up close. And you see a lot of kids like running up the steps at UNLV when like waiting outside at 11:30 in the morning to get up there, up close, up front. And, you know, they have posters all over the arena of Trae Young, of Nikola Jokic, you know, all the, you know, DeAndre Ayton. There's the vibe in the arena that you're about to see a legend born. And I think that is something that the NBA has done really well with the Summer League. So, you know, it's great for the locals, I think, and it's something that just talking to people outside, it's something that they do every year.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see that. For sure.
Definitely, man. So hopefully we'll hear from you. You're going to be there for the Laker game on the 11th?
I'm going to be there for all the Knicks games going into Saturday where they play the Pistons, and then I'm leaving that Saturday night. But I'll be going to just the games where the Knicks. I'll go to the day admission when the Knicks are playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, let's see what Cade Cunningham. I don't know how Jalen Green and Evan Mobley played, but. You know, the Rockets and the Cavs is disgusting. I can't do that. All right,
man. Cool
right,
off. Appreciate you calling in, bro. That's my guy, Poppa Left, live on location. CK2K is also out there. I'm not sure if he's out there today, but he'll be out there for the games as well. And yeah, man, Summer League is a great time. You know, I obviously wish I was out there this year. It's $40, all the basketball that you could watch. You know, and it's just low key. It's a good vibe, and they keep it real relaxed. And watch as many basketball games you could take in and see some of the rising stars, man. See some of the rising stars. So Cade versus OKC and their many guards. You'll see a little Josh Giddey. You'll see Maladon, Trey Mann. You know, who should have been a Knick, but. Whatever. Oh, I'll be watching that game, you know, jealous.
Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that.
What I love about day one of Summer League, especially after this draft and you know, all the shows you had, CP, and all the great guests and experts you had is, you know, day one is the overreaction. I already see on Twitter, Jalen Johnson, this player, like anybody that plays well, that's within the realm of where the Knicks could have picked.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to be like, you see, Jalen Johnson had a double-double.
Don't worry.
Now some people
already
are talking.
heard from Jay from Florida who sent me the Jalen Johnson 20-point highlights talking about, y'all booed me. This is our guy. The overreactions, man. It's the overreactions. I had one guy.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, I had one guy at me talking about all our rookies in second-year plays are terrible. What are they doing? They're not practicing in the off season. I said, oh my God. I said, oh man, here we go.
Literally, it's the first day. On the flip side, there have been guys that have played for this franchise and others that have performed tremendously well in Summer League. And then when the regular season rolls around,
Davion Mitchell had like 20-something points his first game. In the second game, I think he was like 2 for 11. I don't know how he finished, but you know, it was day one. It was like Davion Mitchell's the next this. De'Aaron Fox is gonna get traded, and then game 2, he doesn't have such a great game, and everybody's back to being balanced.
As I said, man, number one rule of Summer League is it's only Summer League. That's it.
Just enjoy the buffets, man. Don't worry about anything else.
That's it, man.
I will say this about Poppa Left mentioned he wanted to hear some thoughts on Obi Toppin. I will say, and that's why I noted the fourth quarter, because he had a sequence, 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. The post move that we talked about, 7 minutes and 25 seconds to go. He caught the ball, he did a quick move, swipe, attacked the rim, and then with 6:55 to go, he attacked the rim again with a little floater bucket, and those were all in the paint. And so the way he started the game was he was shooting a little bit too many threes for my liking. And I started to think, well, maybe this is the role that the Knicks are going to carve out for him, being that they made the investment in Randall. Maybe they want to, continue to build him as that stretch 4. But I just like the way that he finished. So I think it's still a wait and see approach in terms of how Thibodeau is going to utilize him. And I just hope that they utilize him more closer to the basket. And then, hey, if he's open for the 3, then you go ahead and take the shot.
I agree. I think that's spot on, man. Like what JD just said. Like he came out, was aggressive, strictly from the perimeter. Why not try to see if the ball goes in from out deep? You've already had enough naysayers, I guess you can say that you can't shoot, yet let alone the fact that teams are looking to take away any opportunity for you to have energy plays. Like everything he did in the playoffs was, a lot of energy off the bench, and he showcased that ability to have good touch around the basket. So let's put him further away from the basket and see what happens. He didn't do it. I like the fact that he hit some mid-range shots.
Yeah.
That and one that he got in the paint that he got, or he should have had an and one, when he went to the basket to end the first half. I mean, that just shows like it's just a different mentality from the kid. He's a tough kid, and he's going to show that ability to put it on the floor. You want me to put it on the floor? Cool. You want me to go through somebody's chest? Cool. I could shoot that. But I like the fact that he was able to do that, and he knew when and where to shoot.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to make anything happen out of nothing. He let the game come to him. And those are good misses that he had from three. I'm not mad about any of them whatsoever. There wasn't any ill contest shots. There wasn't anything that made me say, I don't think this is it for you. I like his growth. I like the way that he's been steadily improving.
Yeah, like you said, I liked his intentions out there all game. He did hit a nice, I think in the first half or second quarter, he hit a nice baseline, like almost a fadeaway mid-range.
Mid-range, fadeaway, yep.
Yeah, I like that shot from him. And as JD mentioned, the post moves that he had late in the game, I thought that was great. And again, I think it's just a signal of confidence. I think, he may not be able to back down everybody when he gets to when he's in the NBA during the regular season, right? Because he just may not have that lower body strength to back down most guys. But I think at the very least, from a face-up standpoint, he can attack the rim. And again, that's what I was looking from him all rookie season. It's like, just get confident, get to the line, see what happens. Attack the rim, see if you could draw some contact. And he was certainly doing that today. That was certainly on display today. And I think that's something that, he can count on in year two, for sure.
For sure.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I want to shout out my guy Michael Parker, sends a $100 super chat. He's the number one fan of the show, as we call him. And he says, congrats on 40K subs. Let's go. Salute to the chat, the mods, and the panel. Salute to Michael Parker, man. He's literally probably the first fan that we had on this show. And he's been rocking with us every episode. Never misses a show. So, Michael Parker, definitely salute to you. Shout out RGT85. He sends a super chat. He says the walls of Jericho Sims will not be denied. Get on the bandwagon now. Shout out RGT, man. Gamer, Knicks fan. Definitely got to have him on the show and talk shop for sure. That'll be a fun one. Let me get back to the phones. Let's go to DJ from Staten Island, King Deej. What's going on?
What's up, y'all? Run it up.
Let's go.
Excuse me. It's overreaction, day one. So now everybody's going to be like, trade Mitch, trade IQ.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like,
yeah.
I hate watching Summer League day one, bro. But the big three, the biggest three takeaways, I would say, from just looking at a Knicks perspective, I'm not going to talk about Scotty because Scotty's looking like the next Scotty. Like, he was really uber talented today, even with shooting bad.
Man.
He looked really good.
Kid was impressive.
From a Knicks perspective, yeah, CP, he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But from a Knicks perspective, just talking about like everything that we have collectively, the person that stood out to me the most, besides obviously Jericho, is Miles McBride. Obi had the same thing in college. Like if you guys look into Obi's history, he struggles the first time he's in a new situation. That next year, he has a bounce back year. So he did that in college. He did that in high school. So if you follow Obi, like how everybody pertains to it, then it's just him following the trend. IQ, I was surprised at one thing that they had IQ play point guard so much, but I understand because Luka just got off a flight, and obviously Miles McBride just got there. Like day one, I don't think they're going to have him play primary guard. But I would say Miles McBride, to me, and this is the guy that I wanted anyway in the second round, I like everything that he brings. Tibbs is going to love him. Like, this kid has Marcus Smart, Marcus Smart written all over him. And I like everything. He's a better shooter than Marcus Smart coming out of college. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about coming out of college, he was a better shooter. So let's just see, how, Rose and Kemba are injury prone, so he's going to get his little 10 minutes in between.
I think he's going to get in.
Yeah, or like game CP on back-to-back. Rose and Kemba not going to play back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Those trips, those West Coast trips, 4 games and 5 nights, 6 nights, they'll get a shine. But, yeah, I would say he stood out. Quentin Grimes, I felt like it was all nerves. That first shot was all adrenaline. And he's notoriously known for being a good shooter, consistent shooter. So his shot will come. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
And Jericho, man, you got a nickname already. Y2J I think was trending when the dunk happened. So my son, CP, he already got Y2J, man. It's a wrap. But everybody just chill. The rookies are rookies. Obi looked decent, and IQ, he's still not primary point guard. But as you said in the intro, like as I was listening on the line, it's right now you experiment to see where these guys can dibble and dabble when you need them in the game. Yep. So it's all good, man. Everybody just chill. Don't trade mitts. Don't trade IQ yet, guys. Everybody just relax, man. This team is deep. I'm out.
All right, bro. Good to hear from you, King Deej. This is my guy DJ from Staten Island, man, calling in. And yeah, McBride, I love McBride's game today. He's definitely he's gonna be a Tibbs guy. Definitely. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Remember, as always, that these shows are presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and enter promo code Knicks for 20% off plus free shipping. Fellas, go out there and grab that Lawnmower 4.0. It is the Ferrari of ball trimmers. Trust me, you can't go wrong. Manscaped.com, 20% off plus free shipping using promo code Knicks. All right, back to the phones we go. Let me hear from, where'd he go? Mr. William was at the game, so we want to hear from him. Mr. William, what's going on, man? How you feeling? How was the atmosphere?
Yo, my brother CP was good. Salute to you, the panel. Congrats, big congrats on 40,000 subscribers. I think I jumped on when you were at about 2,000 subscribers, man, and it's been a pleasure to take this ride with you, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate the support, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Whenever we link up, I still got 2 drinks for you.
I didn't forget,
I told you that before.
Yeah, 100%.
Things happen. You didn't make it out here. Me and my bro 950 Kev, we got 2 drinks for you. So that's 4 drinks apiece. So you may end up twisted. Whenever we finish hanging out.
Hey, it's all good, man. I was supposed to do the interview with you guys out there, man, but I spoke to Kev and we rescheduled it. So I'll meet you guys at the studio out here and we'll knock it out.
No doubt. All right, let me hit you with my assessment of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried. First of all, why are we talking about trade IQ in the chat when the dude just was Olympic select and, got votes for Rookie of the Year? That is totally asinine. We're not even going to discuss it. Never mind the fact IQ looked like he just came from hanging out last night. Like, I was expecting him to pull off Timberland boots and put sneakers on smelling like hookah and 5 other perfumes that were just randomly purchased. Aside from that, these are the things I look for from young dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I look at and Grimes and McBride, man, they're gonna be day one contributors. I'm looking at how hard dudes go over or under screen. I'm looking at how dudes recognize what their man is doing and who plays passing lanes and who's sticking to who they're playing. And you saw all of that in larger than just teaspoon sample sizes. So they're going to be day one contributors. That's first of all. I'm not worried about the shot. The shot will come in time. But they really impressed me. And, you can watch it on TV, but we all know when you watch a game in person, it's a total different vibe. You get a total different feel. And you're hearing sneakers squeak. You're hearing dudes calling out picks. That's the stuff that puts the both of them on the floor because I don't care who's coaching. If Tibbs is the head coach, that's what Tibbs is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So from a defensive perspective, that was excellent. I thought Sims was more aggressive when he got his hands on the ball anywhere around the paint, more so than Mitch was at the same point in time. So I really did. I really felt like, he had a little floater he tried. And, I don't like he brought the ball down to the waist, but you know what? That's correctable. So that was impressive. I mean, those everybody else, half the dudes on that roster ain't going to be here, so they're just showcasing for other teams' G League. but I was thoroughly impressed with the way them young boys look like. On the defensive side, they look like they're ready to play. On the offensive side, they need that little bit of growth. I know this is summer league, but nonetheless, you have to start somewhere. You know, it's a whole lot easier to tell somebody to tone it down than have to force somebody to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And I thought you saw some controlled aggression from them. Not like the Cleveland-Houston game where they're playing football on the basketball court. So I had to leave. That was horrible. That was touch football. That was tackle football. But I was really impressed, man. And, and thumbs up and shouts to everybody, man. And we'll talk soon. Bro. I'll be here for the Laker game, so I'll probably call in and give you my assessment after the Laker game.
Please do, bro. Appreciate the call, man.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, I thought they were very aggressive, especially early on in the game. You know, trying to get into the passing lanes I liked McBride's activity. I like Grimes' activity on the defensive end as well. Sims, altering some shots out there and just playing disciplined. You know, that was one of the knocks on him. And we saw early in the when they first got there, they were working with Johnny Bryant and on verticality. You know, they was working with Johnny Bryant on that, so clearly that's going to be a point of emphasis, especially for Sims. And Sims just signed a two-way deal, as we figured, so he'll be in and out of Westchester. So he'll get his reps as is needed. Obviously, the Knicks have a stack of vets at the center position, so that's the best bet for Sims anyway. Just go down to Westchester and get his reps with the Knicks squad down there.
They should have given him the max.
I think what was also pretty cool about what we saw on defense tonight from the young guys is that they did a pretty good job, which is really rare to find. They did a really good job tagging. And I don't know if fans are familiar with that term, but it's like part of pick and roll defense, which is something that was an issue last year for the Knicks in the high pick and roll. I mean, taggings were the closest perimeter and help defender. They're able to hit the roller or bump, the roller and then get back to their original man. You saw that McBride was able to do that really, really well. Grimes went through screens, which was really, really impressive. And then as we talked about earlier, Obi being vocal and dropping and everything like that. And then Sims being, doing what he was able to do. But the tagging was really impressive to me for these young dudes to pick it up. They didn't do a great job, but they picked it up well enough where by the time they get into, the regular season, they're going to be pretty good at it.
Just little things.
And I do want to say this, CP, as we go into Summer League, I mean, everyone's going to evaluate it under a different criteria. There's some fans that get upset if we lose the game, like winning Summer League games matters to them. And if we lose, it's like, it's a different story. Some fans look at it differently. With IQ, I know a lot of people are down on him after today. What I will say is that, the role that he played today is not necessarily going to be the role that he'll play during the season. And so, if you also looked at that spurt where he was starting, that game at Philly, some of those games thereafter where he had to be the point guard, you saw some similar struggles. But then when we put him back off ball as a shooter, playing with Derrick Rose, part of that streak where we had the best bench in the NBA, you saw him play much better. So, let's just put perspective into the roles that some of these guys are playing in Summer League is not necessarily going to be the role that they're going to play when you have the other veterans show up, and I think one of the exciting things for me when I see Grimes have good mechanics and I see McBride and I see Jericho, Sims and Obi is, how are these guys going to look when they're playing with Kemba, they're playing with Derrick Rose, like our two guards, top guards are our best guards attacking the rim. So some of these rookies and some of these young players, they're going to get even better looks with our improved roster and our veterans. So let's just put perspective on this as we look into, the following games here in Summer League.
And especially with Quickly, man, you got to figure that he's coming back with that second unit with Rose and Burks and Obi. And that unit, was the strength of that Knicks team. So the pressure won't be on him as much to be a primary playmaker. He could focus on his strengths, which is shooting off ball. And Rose and Burks will handle that primary shot creation for that second unit. So I think IQ will definitely he'll be all right. First game, Summer League.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But and then also if we're gonna keep it a buck, we're gonna keep it a buck here. The way that I saw Evan Fournier just play the last week, it's encouraging to me. Maybe there's something where he can have more of a role going downhill. I know that we're looking for IQ to just be this playmaker and just shoot from the perimeter now, but you're looking at guys who are going to be able to open up opportunities for IQ to take advantage of that thing that he does best, the floater.
True.
So, just little things like that, how they're going to piece together the second unit and the pieces where some of the guys in the first unit can play with those second unit guys. I like the fact that he could work on that and not just rely on just strictly doing these step back threes.
Yeah.
So that's something to just keep an eye on with, that addition of Fournier as well, who does a great job going downhill, where him and Kemba actually have a history of that. But, let's say that IQ is in that position in which he's going to play off of Evan or vice versa. That could be something that's going to help him out a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys also saw the new rules went into effect, and we saw some examples of those new rules.
He didn't get away with two of those.
So, hey, we saw it with quickly, but I'm also excited because guess what? James Harden has to deal with that. Yeah. Hopefully, Trae Young has to deal with that. I mean, we'll see, because that's Emmanuel quickly not getting those calls. I know they're going to emphasize some of these new rule changes, but it's still wait and see to see if these superstars actually get treated the same way. But I did think it was interesting that we saw some of that, stuff here in Summer League. So that's something that quickly is going to get, going to have to get over with as well.
True story, man. And just to elaborate on the rule, I'm just pulling it up from Shams right now. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Where did I see that? I'm trying to pull up the tweet. But basically, I don't have the tweet, but basically the league, they're changing the rules to in how they judge fouls in which a player is drawing contact, right? Back, last year we saw it a lot where guys be jumping into guys. Trae Young be jumping backwards on guys off a pick and roll and drawing a foul there. So the league has said since last season that they're going to, going forward, they're going to be very cognizant in how the referees are calling those. Now, we know IQ was very proficient at doing so, especially earlier on in his rookie season. As time went on, I think both defenses had adjusted and referees had also stopped giving him the benefit of the doubt on those calls. And we saw it again today in Summer League where he tried to, jump into a guy and didn't get the call. And I think he had another one that was blocked as well. So, it's going to be an adjustment for him as well. Definitely going to be an adjustment.
I sent you the tweet, CP. I don't know if you want to use it, but send it to you on Twitter.
That stop and go and pump fake action isn't going to work. He's going to have to get real comfortable going off the same hand, same foot type of thing. The off foot Steve Nash kind of route of finishing around the rim. That they're going to be looking for that now. So that's going to be real important for him once he starts getting inside of the trees.
Yep. They even use Randall on the thread. They use a play from Randall as one of the examples from the NBA account. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it says from NBA officials, says beginning with Summer League and effective for the 2021-22 season, game officials will enforce the playing rules in a manner that reduces the incentive for offensive players to use non-basketball moves to draw fouls. So we'll throw that thread into the chat if you guys want to take a look at some of the examples that they have for your reference. Well, very interesting indeed. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up. Let's go to Nebraska. New caller. Let's go to Rod from Nebraska. What's going on, Rod?
What's good, CP? Congrats, man, on the 40K, man. Much respect to you and your show there.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just got a couple of quick hits for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Just with Obi, man. I'm impressed with Obi, man. He looks like he's been working, and that's all I ask from Obi. Mm-hmm. The face-up game, he has a very, very quick step, a nice quick step. They need to utilize that more on the face-up with him. But the elephant in the room for me is quickly. How quickly he is falling from one of my best players. He's a liability on defense. He couldn't shut down Trae, young boy against young boy, couldn't do that. And playing with some individuals in the Summer League that's trying to make their name known in the league, he's struggling. He's struggling tremendously. He's a one-trick pony. I don't see someone with talent. I see a basketball player with a good pedigree coming from Kentucky, coming out of Kentucky. He looks like a basketball emulator. I see Trae Young, I see James Harden, but I don't see a kid that could play with something that he could bring to the game that he can own himself. And what's more troubling is the fact that that floater game that we all once loved, The league is a league of adjustments. He can't get that floater off like he used to. So now my thing is, we're speaking about adjustments. Can he get a mid-range game now? Can he get a mid-range? So Fournier changes the game. I don't know where quickly fits in, but I'm afraid that his value is going to drop, and we're going to get a second rounder somewhere down the line because he's not. If Grimes thins up a little bit, he's stocky, and if his shot is what we think it can be, Quickly's in trouble. Quickly is in trouble. And I think that Obi and Quickly in the Summer League, real quick, is a showcase. But hopefully it's a showcase in a positive aspect for Obi because he's showing, keep him around. But if they don't make a move on Quickly, he's just going to be on the bench, on the bench, on the bench. And lastly, what does Quickly do more than what Trier brought for us when he was on the squad?
Yeah.
I think Trier brought a lot more than what Quickly does. So Quickly need to get to the gym and learn how to play basketball like a little guy, not like a big guy or like Harden or Trae Young. TP, salute to you, my brother.
Rod.
I'm signing up, and I'm sending my information, your information to my boys, and you're going to have more people following you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love.
CP, expectations are up?
Oh, man. Expectations are up, man. Expectations are up.
Wow.
Rod is not having that, man. He was not impressed. I mean, look, man, it's year 2, Rod. It's year 2, man. You gotta let the kid cook. No, he wasn't known as a top-notch defender at Kentucky, and maybe that might not be it at the next level. It doesn't mean he can't carve out a role for this team. You gotta let him cook, man, and let him figure it out. We know the one thing
8 assists today.
Yeah, we know the one thing that he does is at an elite level is shoot the rock, and you can always use that at the NBA level.
Agreed. I kind of agreed with what he was saying up until the whole Trier point. Trier wasn't getting assists and rebounds like that. It was just a score type of thing.
Trier was too ball dominant, man. He wasn't moving the rock. And look, if the NBA had valued Trier, he'd be in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of the beast. You bring in these draft picks for competition. You bring in the draft picks to get the team better. Yeah. It's not far-fetched to say, down the road, this kid might be put on the bench because of Grimes or whoever. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but what I'm saying is that's the reason why you make the draft picks you do, or pick the players that you do, I should say.
Yeah.
And Tibbs is a guy who's just about competition and winning. It's not a matter of favorites or anything like that. So I don't see the fact that this guy's a one-trick pony. I can't agree with that. I just can't agree with that one right now. But the defensive part, that's going to be huge for me because I got to be honest with you. If McBride does something similar where he could create more from the mid-range besides just the floater that Quickly does, and I'm not saying this to be controversial or anything like that, but there was a certain point in time where I'm looking at this kid literally tagging and going through different screens where he was able to hedge bigs, or not bigs, but bigger players than Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Quickly's not doing that. And it is what it is. You know, you got to call it what it is. Mm-hmm. But if one is able to develop more of an offensive game that's polished, yeah, you have that argument. You have that discussion. But right now, you don't have it. You know, right. It's a bit of a stretch.
I will say this: the way that this roster is currently constructed, the way that we are at least projecting, early projection, too early to project depth charts and possible rotation. It looks like, listen, Quickly is going to have to make shots. That's going to be the key part of his role. He's going to have to make shots, and if he doesn't, then it's going to open up possibilities for McBride and Grimes and other players. That's just the way it is, especially when you consider Grimes and McBride are looked to be better defenders at this point. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's the bad shooting night. And just so you can see, CP, how the game has changed now, you know, there's a lot of people that look at Mekhi Flynn's performance, and they may think, oh, he's a point guard, but he had 1 assist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yet it's such a different league to where if you just make your shots, you're going to impact the game. And that's what he did. He made timely shots. Yeah. And in terms of the outcome of the game, that's what allowed the Raptors to win, and Quickly didn't make his shots. And it is sometimes the game is just that simple.
Man. Make a miss league, bro. Yeah, I didn't see the Trier comparisons there. Trey, listen, Trey had an Arsenal. I think he has had a deeper bag than Quickly. I think he crossed or almost crossed a 50, 40, 90 in his rookie season. But for whatever reason, he's not in the league right now. Whether that's lack of defense, lack of playmaking. The attitude was in question. Not trying to knock the kid, but that's just the reality as well. So I'm not sure why ISO Zoe's not in the league right now, but certainly wish him well. But we gotta be patient, man. Be patient with Quickly, Rod. He'll come along, man. It's only year 2, man. Expectations through the roof, people. I want to shout out my guy above the rim, another day one contributor to this show, sends $100 super chat. He says, congrats on the 40K in the grind. 2020 is going to be a true testament to your future success. Hashtag day one. Salute to you and the crew. We're climbing with you, bro. 2-part question for the panel. Does Tibbs need an offensive coach? And should we... Hold on, let me read this. He says, does Tibbs need an offensive coach? And which coach should we get since Woody left? I mean, David, I would kick that over to you. You have more intel on the team. Who would you consider the offensive mind on the team right now?
I mean, I like the coaching staff they have is great. Johnny Bryant, though, is a great basketball mind. So is Kenny Payne. I mean, I talked about when they hired those two, I was like, Kenny Payne is a big man whisperer. He's going to get so much out of Julius and Mitch. He got a lot out of Julius. But Johnny Bryant's a great basketball mind. I mean, just everything that I've heard from people that have worked with him in Utah or just even the guys that are on the team now, they rave about him. They know that X's and O's and player development, you're going to get a really, really solid dude.
Yeah.
A great guy. So, I mean, it's just that should be a guy that they could rely on a little bit, more in terms of what they can do offensively. Guys that are not necessarily coaching, I mean, other guys have gotten scooped up that are coaching elsewhere. I was a really big fan of Earl Watson prior to him going to Phoenix, but, that's the nature of the beast, the game. But, those type of guys, they're kind of hard to find off of the free agent wire and coaching per se. But the guys that they have currently on staff, Johnny Bryant's good. He's good.
Yeah, and when they did sign Bryant, one of the things when we did our research on him, Quinn Snyder had said that, several times when Bryant was with the Jazz that he would draft up, some offensive sets and plays for them to run throughout games. And so I'm sure he's providing that same type of guidance to Tibbs as well. So maybe that's his role. He is the associate coach. Let's remember that. So that could be where Johnny Bryant comes into play. Other super chats have come in. Let me shout out Lloyd Barker-Rock Jr. Salute to Lloyd out there in the West Coast. He says, what's up, CP and JD? I know I tweeted about Sims earlier, but you can't teach energy. The young man is scrappy, and he was heavy on the boards today. Yeah, Sims was impressive, man. Paul Robinson says they couldn't announce the change of rules before IQ's first game. Had him looking wild out there. Yeah, man, they changed the locks on IQ real quick, man. He couldn't get through that door. Could not get through that door, man. So salute to him. He'll bounce back. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go rapid fire. B from Long Island. What's going on, bro?
What's up, CP? Thanks for taking the call.
How you doing, man?
First off, I want to say good. First, I want to say congratulations to Obi. When we first drafted him, I was not really that supportive of it, but I am happy that he broke out this year or in the summer league, one game. But he looked good. To IQ, everybody please relax. Number one, he's not going to be our point guard. He's not going to be our starting point guard. He's not going to be our backup point guard. But I do appreciate them giving him these minutes and his play time because I think he does need to develop some more aspects of his game. He is a great shooter. The reason why his shot wasn't falling is because he wasn't getting those foul calls like he usually does. He's more of that type of person where as soon as he gets to that charity stripe and he sees it goes in, then that's when his confidence starts building. But I'm happy that they're letting him, if they continue to, letting him start at that point guard position because he needs to develop more as far as not necessarily his handling, but just his decision making and as far as taking contact when going to the rim. Because that floater is getting corny now. And I love IQ, but the floater is corny. He needs to start taking more contact, start getting the mid-range, start learning how to really lay up the ball. And then also, I do think that more of his role is just coming off that bench as the sixth man once Derrick Rose finally passes on and he stays, which I hope he does because I'm a big Quickly fan.
Okay.
But everybody relax. He's not going to be our point guard.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And
Yep.
David, I saw you smirk when he said when he chimed in about the floater. What do you think about that? You know, is Quickly a little? Is he too reliant on the floater? It kind of seems like it's floater or nothing when it comes to 3 feet between 3 to 10 feet from the basket. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm not putting them in the same category whatsoever when I say this, but like Mark Jackson made a hell of a career with the floater. It's a reliable shot if you can make it. It keeps the defense honest and drop coverage. I'm not a hater. I teach the floater a lot. Like, I love that shot. If you can make it and you're efficient with it, go for it. It keeps the defense on their toes. I do agree with the caller, though, that he has to add a little bit more with creating his shots off of the dribble. That was something that I brought up actually on this show with the quarterly report, where I was like, teams are going to start sitting on one hand and forcing him one direction. And then, you're going to get into issues where hedging is not going to be the initial problem. It's the guys that can drop or go through hedges that are going to make life miserable for Quick. So I see where the call is coming from. The floater's not corny. The floater's a great shot, but he's gonna be fine. I mean, this is literally the first game of the second year.
Pressure.
It's just a good first impression of what he can do with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
People are gonna see what he can do by the time. If you told me this was going on in game 65 this upcoming season, then I would be like, hey, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
But it's not.
We gotta let the kid cook, man.
He's got some time. He'll be all right.
Well, let him cook. JJ from Brooklyn, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's good, fellas? How's everyone doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, brother. Good.
Good. Just watching this Cavs Rockets game. This Jalen Green. Oh my goodness, this guy's step back is ridiculous.
This kid's gonna be a star.
Step back threes like nothing.
This kid's gonna be a star.
Oh my God, what a bucket! But on Sims, man, the thing I liked about him, you could see he has really good hands, which is good because he can use a center that could catch. With Mitch and Noel, it's kind of rough down there. The rebound, and he was hustling, he was diving for loose balls. It was really impressive. I definitely think he's going to be our third string center, though, as long as Mitch and Noel are both healthy.
Yeah.
But I like McBride, like King Deej was saying, he does remind me of Marcus Smart a lot. He really does. I think he's going to be a better shooter. He's just scrappy, And the thing with Obi, I wanted to ask you guys, he obviously showed out today. But do you guys think that Tibbs is actually going to play him and Randall together? Because if not, then it's a waste. He shouldn't be a 10, 12-minute player for the next 5 years. So can he play the 5? But, with Tibbs, I don't think so, just because he likes his rim protection. And if you got Obi and Randall, you don't really have that. It could be layup lines. And then could he play the 3? But I don't think he could guard 3s. So it's kind of tough. I want him to get minutes, but I'm just not sold it's going to happen right now. But, yeah, and last thing, CP, I just wanted to congratulate you, man, on 40K.
Appreciate you,
deserve
bro.
another 0 at the end of that. I've been watching you for a minute and just watching you grow and how big you've gotten, interviewing Nick legends and actors and rap legends. You should really be proud of yourself, man. Just keep up the great work.
Appreciate you, man.
It, man.
Yeah, man. You never miss a show,
Appreciate
bro.
It, man.
Definitely appreciate you for
bro.
for supporting us, man. Definitely. Thanks
Yes,
again.
Sir.
Yeah, listen, it's gonna be left to be seen whether Tibbs will experiment and go small, where we have some advantages there. I think if Obi can play a little bit disciplined, he came on strong to close the season out. I thought that last month of the season, including the playoffs, I thought he played very well on both ends. We were looking for that. We were looking for that small ball lineup to see if we could create some advantages against Capella, against the Hawks. So, I'm hoping we can get a 20-minute Obi rather than a 10-minute Obi, because I think he could really bring some energy, and we'll see if him and Julius can work. I don't know, fellas, what do you think about that small ball lineup, Julius and Obi next year?
I mean, I've told people I think he could play the three. I know it sounds crazy. Guys, but I think he can play the three. The ability, his physical ability has improved to move his hips. He has good feet. He has good enough feet to move with threes, in my opinion. Now, is he going to do it for lots of minutes? No, I don't think so. Not right now. Down the road, I think he can. But right now, if you want to do it in spurts where you can have that lineup of Obi, Randall, Mitch, or Noel, whoever's going to be the center, then I would experiment with that. I wouldn't have issues with that. Not to say that he's starting at that position, but what I'm saying is that that's something that I could see wholeheartedly happening.
Finding a window format at 3, that'd be interesting, man. Like, I haven't seen it, obviously, from a speed and an athleticism standpoint. I guess it depends. I guess it would be situational, who's he up against. But yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to find a way, man. I want to see this kid on the court.
I think it's just the defensive principles and what they're doing for the matchups and the team that they have. It's not necessarily something where they're just he's going to be a 3 all the time every single night.
Right.
There might be instances which Randall's in foul trouble, so he's going to be more in the forward position. Or, who's to say that his perimeter shot's going to improve, then his perimeter defense is going to improve to the point where he can play a little bit of minutes if Fournier's out or whoever they want to put at 3. RJ's in foul trouble. There's just a myriad of things that he can do.
Yeah. JD, how about you, man?
I mean, I personally think with Kemba now on the roster and Derrick Rose, potentially back him up, I think the Knicks are a little bit of a crossroads here in terms of you have your top pick from last year. You just made an investment in Randall. I don't think Tibbs is going to change minutes distribution with his best player. So I still see Randall playing a lot of minutes this year, especially Tibbs looking to duplicate last season in terms of having, a playoff record. So you're going to have to find minutes creatively for Obi. And with Fournier's addition and Kemba, being able to shoot the 3, I would experiment him at the 5. I mean, I would more so than the 3, me personally, because him playing the 3, I would need to get him to play better defense. He received a lot of Sean Marion comparisons coming out of school. One of the things that allows Sean Marion to play the 5, the 4, and the 3 was his ability to play defense and have lateral quickness on the defensive end. And hey, why not put him at center and surround him with shooters and put him in a pick and roll with Kemba, and let's see how that works. Because you're gonna have to find a way to get him minutes. And I just personally don't think that going into next season and playing him 10, 11 minutes like you did this season, you are again putting pressure on a young player to make immediate impact in only 10 minutes. And there's some players that they just need more than that to heat up, to cook up, and to get into a rhythm. And so I don't know that I want to put that much pressure on Obi again in terms of you have to come in, and if you don't make impact right away, you're out the game. So
it's true. It's a good point. Definitely a good point. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up. It's a great show so far. Summer League kickoff. Knicks fall to the Raptors 89-79. Val from Jersey. Val, how you doing?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
To continue with that point about congrats on the 40K, by the way. Anyway,
thank you, bro.
To continue on that point about Obi at the 3, I like him at the 3 because his arm length also disrupt passes. He looks like he's a better rebounder, and he also reminds me of a better version of Josh Smith. You remember that guy on the Hawks?
Of course.
If you put Obi at the 3 and he improves his jumper, he can be a better version at the Josh Smith. Or if Randall becomes a better three-point shooter, I think Obi at the 3 can work. He disrupts the passing lanes, and he just looks amazing. I just want to know what are your thoughts as far as him being a long-term option for us, because I really don't want to trade the guy. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we really just touched on it. I think, look, I think no one's untouchable on this team, and as they move forward with the way that they've tied up the cap, trades is going to be probably the most likely path with the draft capital that they have, and now young players on this roster. These kids are gonna have to play, especially Obi. He's gonna have to play, and we'll see. You know, we'll see what his role is going forward. Will he be a potential trade piece down the line to help improve this roster, or will he be a mainstay in this young core as they move forward? It's gonna be left to be seen, but certainly they need to continue to be invested in his player development. And again, I just don't see that with him being a 10-minute-a-night player. So let's see what they do.
The decision they make on Mitch may tell us everything, because they already gave Noel that contract.
Yeah.
They just drafted Sims, and Sims seems a lot of the things he does is what Tibbs likes. And then you just made the investment in Randall. Where are these minutes coming from? You know, so what they do with Mitch, if they decide to give Mitch a contract, then that's it. Your front court is locked up. And so that's why I would experiment him at the 5. Him playing the 5 is just on offense. It doesn't mean that he's going to defend Embiid. If you have him out with Randall, that's going to be Randall's assignment. So you can schematically work around it, but he's going to have to find minutes. And it's positive what he did today. I think he's going to get a lot of minutes in Summer League, because you never know what could happen. You want to see him boost up his value. You never know what could happen in the future.
Let's go to, let me hear from my guy Jay from Florida. Jay, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
AKA Debbie Downer. What's good, bro?
Debbie Downer's back. Now I'm positive vibes, man.
Okay, all right, no doubt.
What up for my boys, man? Yeah, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Let's go.
40K followers, we need every like. Hit
Facts.
that every like.
100%.
Listen, man. Back to the Kemba thing. I ain't pop up with the Kemba thing, but I'm happy. Right? They always say, "Oh, Jay from Florida. What do you know about the Knicks?" No, Jay's not from Florida. Jay's from the Bronx. I went to Catholic Boys High School, Mount St. Michael, on 238 in White Plains Road, Narrett Avenue. All right.
Let them know.
Kemba went to Rice from the same cloth. All right. I grew up in the same type of neighborhood, so I respect Kemba coming home to play ball. IQ, CP, remember in February I said that IQ was selfish and the chat was going down my neck? IQ was not a lead ball handler. I said it months ago. He looked off Grimes a million times. Come on, how you sit down with Grimes for dinner when you looked him off like 4 times? Come on, you gotta get your mind together, IQ. Like, you can't go share a burger with your man and you looked off 4 times. So, come on, man. I like McBride. I feel like McBride can't really turn the corner. Maybe Dave could give me some insight. I know Dave got all the basketball insight. He's great defensively, but on offense, I didn't see him turn the corner one time, and that was the reason why IQ held the ball, because IQ, he's selfish, but he could turn the corner a little bit, so he can get to the paint. What else I had? Oh, shout out to my boy King Deej. Jalen Johnson had 20 and 10. So I'm going off Summer League debut. King D said I was trash for wanting Jalen Johnson on the Knicks. He had 20 and 10 in the Summer League debut. I think that was it, man. Let me see. Hold on. Let me think of some other points I had. Oh,
he's like, I need the negative. Where's the negative?
Your man. No negative tonight, bro. No negative. All positive vibes tonight. Right. Your man Grimes didn't get hit the ball in the shooting pocket. Patton threw him a terrible pass on the right wing. Terrible pass. If he would have got some passes in the shooting pocket, I feel like he would have made 4 or 5 threes easy. But, yo, listen, we still got a point guard of the future. I'm happy Kemba's home, but Kemba and Derrick Rose needs his trash. Kemba needs to go to Germany and see the same knee doctor that Kobe saw 10 years ago and try to get his knee together. Because when we get Kemba's knee together, it's a different story. He's only, 31?
Yeah.
If Kemba could give us 3 or 4 years, if his knee's right, this team is in a different league. And Obi needs to play the 5. My prediction is Obi's going to be the second max player on his team. Well, third after RJ. Obi's going to get a max contract on the Knicks. Baby stat. I'm going.
Jay from Florida, come with some positive energy today. All right. It's Sunday, man. It's Sunday.
Usually Jay comes at me.
Yeah.
Nah, that's my guy. He's cool.
Fellas, real quick, I didn't. We talked about the Kemba stuff before we went live, but I didn't get it. We didn't get it on record. Just give me your thoughts on the Kemba acquisition.
I'm happy about it. A guy who can get into who can get from the perimeter to the paint, pretty efficiently. The knees issue is just, it's always going to be something that's going to be in the back of my mind, if he could stay healthy. The depth in terms of the guard position now, it's going to be good that he won't be able to play a lot of back-to-backs, I don't think. But man, just if that knee holds up and he's, 75% of what Kemba Walker can be,
Yeah.
that's going to be a great acquisition for the type of money that they got for him. It's a steal. So
100%.
I'm pretty happy about him. He could turn the corner for the team significantly.
Yeah, I mean, it's an arthritic knee, so, similar to Allen Houston's condition, I don't think it's ever going to get better. But, look, it's a 2-year deal. We'll have a platoon with him, Rose. Hopefully McBride gets some action there. You also have capable ball handlers and Burks. IQ will handle a little bit, not primarily, but and Fournier will certainly get that. RJ. So I mean, I think we have enough ball handlers around to open up the offense and play make for each other. I think Kemba will be great. As they utilize the screen and rolls with him, I think he'll be the best point guard that Mitch has ever played with. So even though his pick and roll numbers are down over the years, he's still better than what we had. And in the clutch, I trust Kemba again in the clutch more than I trust Julius. I'll put the ball in his hands and let him go to work. JD, what about you, bro?
I think it's a great addition to the team. Just like I said with Noel, I'm not gonna rule him out playing back-to-back games, only for the simple fact that I think if his knee looks right, and at the end of the day, it's still a contract year. So when you look at it, it is a 2-year, but it in essence is a contract year. He's in New York, and hey, he's still playing for another contract. So he wants to put himself in a position to where whether it's with the Knicks or another team, then his next contract is a long-term deal. And so I think that if you look at his minutes, he still played almost 32 minutes last season. So if he's right, people saying he's going to play 22 or 24 minutes. I don't see that personally. I think with Thibodeau, I mean, listen, you saw what he did with Noel, and you saw what he did with Rose in LA. So I know a lot of people are saying this with the knee, but I'm telling you, this is Tom Thibodeau. And if the medicals check right and he's playing well, he's going to play. He's going to play. Thibodeau's is trying to make the playoffs. It's a 1-year deal. He's going to play. Will he play 82 games? Probably not, but he's going to play minutes within the game. I think one of the things that has been talked a lot about is his defense in terms of him taking a step back. There's one interesting thing, though, that he will bring to the team is, last year he was in a 3-way tie for first in charges taken. A lot of people talk about Kyle Lowry having that ability. Kemba Walker is underrated. He was first last year. The year before that, he was 7th. The year before that, he was 3rd. And the year before that, he was 3rd in the NBA in charges drawn, which means that he sacrifices his body. He may not be the greatest defender, but he's still going to give you possessions. So when you couple that with Tom Thibodeau's system, Tom Thibodeau's going to find a way to hide him. But he's going to give us possessions in terms of sacrificing his body. So
that's good points.
The signing of Noel and Mitch hopefully being healthy, I think will cover some of defensive deficiencies between him and Fournier. And I just think everyone's going to be better. I can't wait to see him in a pick and roll with some of our athletic
Get him in that
big
high
men.
pick and roll, man.
And listen, I'm putting faith in that Kemba is going to be all right. He had another opportunity to come to New York and he didn't, and now he's here. And I think he knows what's up. He knows New York. He knows there's going to be a lot of scrutiny.
He knows the stage.
I'm excited. I did see a video of him the other day that I got through, a close friend. And so he looks happy. He's excited. He can't wait to get here.
Let's go. Well, let's go, man. I'm excited about it. I'm definitely excited about it. It's Kemba and MSG. What more could you ask for, man? I'm definitely excited the way things, shook loose for the Knicks to be able to be in the position to get them. So I think it turned a ho-hum free agency into a pretty good one in terms of what they did. So let's see what happens. Kemba on the big stage. All right, last call of the night. It's been a great show, people. Want to definitely appreciate everybody for calling in and tuning in, supporting, holding it down. 1,700 strong in the chat. Salute to you guys. Like Jay said, man, let's get up to 1,000 likes, man. We got 1,677 people in here. Let's get that thumbs up button. All we need is 400 more likes to break 1,000 tonight. Let's do that and celebrate KnicksFanTV 40K. Also for 40K, I got an autograph RJ Barrett basketball authentic signature. We're going to be giving that away probably for the next show, the Lakers show. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow KnicksFanTV on Instagram and Twitter as well to be on the lookout for that announcement and where to sign up for it. But I'll be giving away an autographed R.J. Barrett Spalding basketball to one lucky winner to celebrate 40K. All right, last call of the night. Let's go to Angelo from Las Vegas. Angelo was at the game today. Angelo, how you feeling, bro?
Good, man. Come on. CP and the crew.
Let's go.
KnicksFanTV 40K.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on. I'm so excited for you guys, man.
Thank you,
What
bro.
a year it's been for you. I'm so excited for your success. And I'm here riding with you, man. I've been watching the show since I think Frank got drafted. I've been here a minute.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Watching you guys. And
Appreciate it.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. So, hey, I was at the game. You know, I saw some things that shoot around that was pretty interesting to me. Like, one of the biggest things I saw was that, man, it's like everybody we drafted have NBA bodies. Like, these guys are big. Even McBride at 6'2" is bigger than Quickly. You know, that man's got he's built, and especially Sims. You look at that man, and he could, you know, jump out the gym, and in shoot around, instead of like showing off and dunking, he was working on his touch and all those little touch moves he was doing around the rim during the game. He was working on those during shoot around. So you could tell it's a big focus of his game. He knows that if he can, you know, have a nice touch around the basket, he's going to get minutes. You know, and you know, quickly, I think like I understand what everybody's saying. Interestingly enough, everybody's talking about his dribbles. But you know, that one thing everybody's like tripping about, he was working on before the game. And I could say, like, before the game, I was like, damn, this dude got some handles. Like, he could do all the moves and everything. But the problem is that he is small. You know, his body, not as far as height, but his body is small. He's skinny. And so I don't care how good of a handle you have. You know, if you could face up somebody, you know, he could probably juke, you know, some of the best defenders out there. But if someone's pressing you at midcourt, and I don't care how good of a handle you have, if you have to put your body between that defender and the ball, and he's bigger than you, he's going to bump you within your dribble, and he's going to knock that ball out of your hand. Yeah. And so I think that's the biggest problem. Now, you can say, okay, you put him at the 2, those guys are going to be bigger, but the difference is that he's not getting pressed at half court. He's getting that ball within the rhythm of the offense, and he's getting an opportunity to create space, so now he can work some dribbles and maybe do a step back and do things that really meet his game. You know, I think he's a playmaker. He's just too small. Look at him in transition. Totally different type of player when it comes to transition. He can definitely get the ball to the right player in those type of situations. So I think when it comes down to it, it's just putting him in the right spot to succeed. And so I think that right spot is right next to Rose, with Rose at the point and him at the 2, and give him that was the lineup that worked last year.
100%.
I love that. I'm more excited about keeping our core bench together than even what we got going with the starting lineup, because our bench was a huge strength of ours. And I think we got the right squad together to make sure that second unit is doing damage. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, if you don't mind, you know, Obi Toppin, man, I was cracking up with those threes, man, because before the game, that was his main focus, that corner right 3. He was shooting that shot like the whole time through shoot around. You could tell he was like adamant about being able to make that shot. And during the beginning of the game, that was where he was parking. He was camping that whole time and just staying stagnant in that corner. And it wasn't until he started moving around and started getting around the basket, started making hustle plays, that things started really moving around for him and doing well for him. So I'm hoping that he can open up his game more and get over that. I think he's one of those guys that if something's not going right for him, he wants to make it work. You could tell he hates losing. He was very vocal out there. The worse we were playing, the more vocal he was with the young guys. I love that leadership about him. And it felt like he was calling out more plays and directing the team more than even IQ was. You know, and so to me, I think that says a lot. You know, I think that I think we made the right moves by getting veterans in there in the point guard spot. They're going to fill that role, and you just let IQ do his thing, and that is get a bucket.
Okay, man, appreciate the call, man. Are you going to be at the Laker game?
Yep, I'm going to be at the Laker game. I'm going to try to make as many of those games as I can.
All right, man.
You know, it's the only opportunity I had to watch these Knicks games, being Vegas and all that. But
no doubt.
Hey, shout out to Queens. That's where I'm from. And, you know, I miss New York so bad, and sometimes I feel like home when I'm on the show. So I thank you guys for putting this show together. It's been great for me.
Good, man. That's the point. And definitely call back in after the Laker game. We need that intel, need that pregame intel. Definitely appreciate it. And, yeah, you know, that's part of the, I think, the benefits of this show is I feel like, you know, we bring people closer to home. with covering the Knicks, because a guy like Angelo out in Vegas, yeah, you'll have some New York transplants out there as well, but obviously it's nowhere near being at home and chopping it up on these Knicks. You could be out here chopping it up on the Knicks with total strangers, and so when you go to some of the other remote areas in the country or around the world, is just less and less of us out there. So I think that's what this channel brings. It brings a chance for all of us to come together, chop it up, overreact to the first summer league game, you know what I'm saying, like we did today, and just get it all out. So appreciate that. Appreciate Angelo and appreciate the panel, man. David, JD, great job as usual, man. Appreciate you guys for coming on tonight. Let me get my my outro music here, and then we can go ahead and sign out. One quick thing I want to bring to the people's attention, man. I want to shout out and send sincerest condolences to my guy Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie hit me up over the weekend and let me know that his sister was tragically killed. She was tragically murdered a few days ago, and so I want to first and foremost send my sincerest condolences to Jay Boogie, his family, on this tragedy, truly tragic situation that's happened down in North Carolina. Also, as I said, this is a big community, and you guys do so much to support this show. I want us to, if we can, support Jay Boogie, man, to help him cover the funeral arrangements for his sister. And if you guys are willing and able to donate to his Cash App, the Cash App is $J, J-A-Y, the number 1, Movers, J1 Movers. We're going to put that in the chat. If you guys are willing and able to donate, man, if we could support our fellow Knicks fan. We know Jay Boogie gives us the closing sermon, but right now he's going through a tough time with him and his family, and this is what we do. We support each other through the good times. Let's support each other through the bad times and pick him up. He always picks us up through the wins and the losses, but real life is real, and we want to support him as well and lift him up as well, man. So once again, if we could donate anything to his Cash App, it is J1 Movers, J-A-Y, the number 1, Movers, M-O-V-E-R-S, J1 Movers is Jay Boogie's Cash App. Anything that you guys can do would greatly be appreciated. And yeah, like I said, man, we just send condolences to Jay Boogie and his family during this tough time.
Condolences indeed.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Appreciate you, fellas. JD, let's go ahead and close out. Just let the people know where they can find you, man.
JD Sports Talk NY on Twitter, and JD Space Sports Talk together on YouTube. And just want to, again, send my condolences out to Jay Boogie. I will be donating, and, just tough times, man. Just hope that he can get through this and come back. He knows he has a community here of supporters.
Yeah.
And, sports in these times, sports is your safe haven, right? It's your medicine. So hopefully he can get back to this side as soon as he can. And, just want to salute to UCP again. Congratulations on your accomplishment. I don't know if you ever saw this, looking at your first videos and how your growth incrementally has happened throughout your previous logo, like everything. I know when you go through these milestones, you look at all the steps and you just go, wow. So salute to you, man. And I just want to give a shout out to Ron Cleveland, man. It's the Knicks. He is not going to be doing his show due to personal reasons. He's okay. He's 100% okay. I talked to him on the phone, but he is a caller of KnicksFanTV. He said he will be calling your show, CP, in the future. It's just, just personal stuff. He can't continue to commit the way that he did in the forum. So Ron Cleveland, shout out to you. And let's get it, man. It's game 2, overreaction season. Let's go.
Game 2 against the Lakers. David, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Dave Zenon on Twitter, and then David Mark Zenon on my Instagram. Same name, just a full name. And then my condolences to Jay Boogie. Praying for you, bro. Sorry to hear about that. I will be donating as well. And I suggest everybody else in the chat, they do as well. Always look after your loved ones. Prayers to everybody.
Appreciate you guys. Definitely appreciate it. And once again, appreciate everybody in the chat for tuning in, for supporting, for sending your well wishes to Jay Boogie. Let's send our well wishes to Ron Cleveland as well. JD, and when you spoke about the growth of this channel, the growth is attributed to people like that, man. The people who tune in every night, they call in, they contribute. We know Ron Cleveland's saying man, because he did it so often on this show, and he went out and carved out his own wave. And so definitely salute to him. We know Jay Boogie as the closer, and it's just, those guys are just examples of people investing in this community, investing in this channel, and connecting, building and connecting. And those guys, they're two of the most stand-up dudes that I know. And again, they're all about community and connecting, and so we definitely want to send that love back out to them. Once again, Jay Boogie's Cash App is JAY1 Movers, MOVERS. And we're looking to help him out with the funeral arrangements on the passing of his sister, because it was truly a tragic incident that happened down there, man. So Jay Boogie, keep your head up. We love you, man, and we appreciate you, bro. And for the rest of you guys, we'll tune in. We'll check out. We'll check you guys August 11th, Knicks versus Lakers, Knicks post game live. We out of here, man. Peace. Also, I'll have later on. We'll post the post game press conference from the coach, Obi, and Jericho Sims. So stay tuned on the channel for that one as well, man. All right, people, we out of here. Peace.